Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir, and let's tell you what's really making headlines as far as the Times of India this morning is concerned. So today is the day when the domestic air travel is starting and flights take to skies after 2 months but face air pockets in some states. That's the big story the Times of India this morning is leading with. Chaos ahead as schedule cut in big 5 cities because various states in fact were not happy with this plan to allow flights in their respective states, especially Maharashtra, where number of cases have gone up sharply in the last couple of days, and there are states which have set their own rules for flights as well as flyers. The frequency of flights has also come down, and that's the reason why the headline says chaos ahead as schedule cut in 5 big cities. This is what Saurabh Sinha is reporting. Now it has everything that you need to know about a resumption in air travel from today. When and how many? Mumbai airport has allowed only 50 flights on day 1. Chennai and Hyderabad are also likely to cap flight numbers. Cyclone hit Kolkata and Bagdogra will allow a reduced number of flights, but only from 28th of May. Vijayawada and Vizag will allow flights from Tuesday. So these are the kind of changes that have happened now. Flight numbers: instead of 1,170 daily flights, 8,216 domestic weekly flights that were planned earlier. Monday, that is today, there will be just 600 flights, and these are the norms, so the flyers will have to keep in mind. While centre's guidelines for arriving domestic travelers say they are required to self-monitor their health for 14 days. However, centre has also said that states are free to develop own protocol for quarantine for incoming passengers. So there are many states which have asked for a 14-day quarantine as well, and that is the reason why this is the big story today. Only those sans symptoms can fly. This is what the centre has said. And on the other hand, there is another story about the migrants. The migrants flee cities, but it's difficult at home as well. Going home, but what will homecoming be like? This is the story of how in UP specifically, the government has told the DMs that posters should be put outside houses of all quarantine migrant returnees. Even if they go back home, they will have to follow the quarantine rules. Now, there is an update as far as India's COVID count is concerned. India now number 10 among COVID-hit nations. 6,500 cases were reported on Sunday. For 3 days in a row, viewers, we have seen over 6,000 cases being reported, and now India is at number 10. As the country's COVID-19 count continued to surge, India overtook Iran on Sunday in total recorded cases. Now total cases have crossed 1,36,000 and total deaths have crossed the 4,000 mark as well in India. And these are the 5 worst affected states: Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Gujarat and Rajasthan. And only on one day, which is Sunday, 153 deaths were reported. Then there's another story on the front page. India ready for long standoff on China front, and pharma shrinks 12%, a 3-year low. Small towns drive food business. Small towns are leading the way in helping retailers and quick serve restaurants restart business after nearly 2 months of closure, as many of them are part of the green zone where economic activity can resume. Then there is a very interesting story here that how as far as Indian Railways are concerned, even they are facing traffic jams. That's right, train takes 4 days instead of 28 hours. This is what Manthan K. Mehta has reported this morning. The Shramik special that left Lokmanya Tilak terminus on last Thursday from UP's Basti reached its destination almost 4 days later on Sunday evening. Trains from Maharashtra and elsewhere in the country have been forced to take detours because of congestion on routes that has been reported as well. And in fact, earlier it was also reported a train left Vasai for Gorakhpur took a detour via Odisha and Asansol, taking passengers by surprise. So there's traffic jam that is being faced by trains as well. 60% of Shramiks are from Gujarat, Maharashtra and Punjab. Now there's another story. NPPA okays N95 mask price at 3 times of government rate. 2 days after the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority issued directions threatening action on high pricing on N95 masks, it has approvingly cited a price that is more than 3 times the government procurement rate for masks. So this cost row is also now getting a bit bigger. Lastly, before we move on to the Navbharat Times, what's in a name? Gender equality. A very interesting story by Sharik Majid here. Sons Amazon brothers have long monopolized the business name game. So when Ludhiana contractor Manoj Kumar Gupta decided to give a name to his new venture that he started, he named this medical store as Gupta and Daughters. And there you can see, which is a departure clearly from usually we see Gupta and Sons and those kind of names. And now this is another story that's on the front page. Let's now move on and get you the latest as far as the Navbharat Times is concerned. और अगर नवभारत टाइम्स में भी पहली खबर की बात करें तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है जो डोमेस्टिक एयर ट्रैवल शुरू हो रहा है उसके बारे में पूरी जानकारी दी गई है। आज से सफर हवाई फिर मुमकिन तन्हाई, which sums up that even if you fly by air, even if you travel by air, you will have to get quarantine, if not in your house then perhaps some institutional quarantine facility. फ्लाइट के बाद कई शहरों में क्वारंटाइन की तैयारी। दिल्ली सरकार ने कहा हवाई यात्री इनका पालन करें, तो दिल्ली सरकार ने भी अपने कुछ रूल्स निकाले हैं, उसकी यहाँ पर जानकारी दी है। हवाई यात्रा करने वाले सभी यात्रियों को अपने फोन में आरोग्य सेतु ऐप डाउनलोड करना होगा और मास्क लगाना बहुत जरूरी है। टिकट के साथ एक एडवाइजरी भी दी जाएगी सभी पैसेंजर्स को, जिसमें यात्रा के पहले, यात्रा के दौरान और यात्रा के बाद क्या करना है वो सारी डिटेल्स होंगी। इन राज्यों में 14 दिन का क्वारंटाइन जरूरी है। आपको बता दें ऐसे कौन से राज्य हैं, अगर आप यहां ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं तो 14 दिन का क्वारंटाइन बहुत जरूरी होगा। उत्तर प्रदेश, उड़ीसा, छत्तीसगढ़, कर्नाटक, केरल, असम, आंध्र प्रदेश और अंडमान और निकोबार। इसके अलावा जो दूसरी खबर है वो ये है कि अगर कोरोना के लक्षण नहीं तो भेजा जाएगा घर, वहीं पर 14 दिन का क्वारंटाइन आपके लिए जरूरी होगा। और विदेश से आए यात्रियों के लिए भी नियम जो है वो बना दिए गए हैं। फ्लाइट में इकोनॉमी क्लास के यात्री सबसे पहले ही सवार हो सकेंगे। एक और बड़ी खबर है यहां पर, सुरक्षा मानकों पर हाईकोर्ट ने डीजीसीए से जवाब मांगा है और देखेंगे कि डीजीसी का क्या कहना होगा आज। बैंक्वेट हॉल में शादी होगी लेकिन पुलिस और डीएम से लेनी पड़ेगी परमिशन। महाराष्ट्र में फिर साधु की हत्या, आरोपी को गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया है और चीन के सैनिकों ने नहीं छीने हथियार, कैद भी नहीं किया। ये एक और यहां पर खबर आई है, भारत और चीन के बीच सीमा विवाद को लेकर लद्दाख में तनाव अभी भी कायम है। और एक आखिरी खबर भी यहां पर है, कोल्ड वॉर की ओर धकेल रहा है अमेरिका, ऐसा चाइना का कहना है। बड़ी खबर है जो फ्रंट पेज पर ही दिखाई हुई है। मूविंग ऑन नाउ टू द इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स एंड लेट्स गेट यू द लेटेस्ट एज फार एज द वर्ल्ड ऑफ बिजनेस एंड इकोनॉमी इज कंसर्न्ड। एंड हियर द फोकस इज आफ्टर डेज ऑफ हार्ड बार्गेनिंग बिटवीन सेंटर एंड स्टेट्स, एयरलाइंस प्रिपेयर टू फ्लाई टू फ्यूअर सिटीज फ्रॉम टुडे, but turbulence looms. Carriers redo schedules amid uncertainty of flights and quarantining rules for passengers. And then Tata Group top deck to take up to 20% pay cut. A first, in fact, for Tata's, a move aimed at leading by example and motivating staff, say company insiders. CEO pay at top 15 Tata Group firms rose 11% in FY19 from FY18 on average, compared with 14% jump in FY18 and 17. Now another story, Center for Uniform Flexi Labour Laws likely to fast-track changes in regulations to supersede ordinances by BJP-ruled states. This is what Yogima Sharma has reported. 3Y for Anil Ambani's Delhi power distribution business. That's another story here by Arijit Burman. Cipla, Hetero have got nod to sell Remdesivir. And a couple of more interesting stories here. 25 urban districts responsible for surge in COVID-19 cases. Remember, we have seen this sudden spike, or at least in the last 3 days, with over 6,000 cases being reported. And now the Economic Times tells us that 25 urban districts are responsible for this surge in COVID cases. A week after the easing of the lockdown, there is a rise in India's overall COVID positive rate, with 25 urban districts pushing it up to 4.6% just in last 1 week. Mumbai's suburban daily positive rate was the highest at 52%. Swearing in of new Rajya Sabha MPs likely only after May 31st. Chinese aggression and attempt to counter India's border initiative. This is what Pranab Dhal Samanta has reported. Andhra High Court has ordered seizure of LG Polymers Vizag plant. Big information here, important information in fact. Andhra Pradesh High Court has ordered the seizure of premises of LG Polymers in Visakhapatnam and barred its directors from leaving the country as well without permission. This after 12 people were killed after a gas leaked from this plant early this month. And lastly, offices have started opening as well, and a very interesting headline here, freedom struggle against COVID brings partition to offices, because there are new rules that offices have now come out with: one-way lanes, plexiglass dividers, automatic doors to be part of workplace, 6 feet apart workstations. So offices are being redesigned as well, and this is what Rika Bhattacharya and Prachi Verma Dadwal have reported. Let's now be more city specific and get you the latest as far as the national capital is concerned. Kangana, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Kangana, good morning. Firstly, I want to discuss with you what's there on the front page as far as heat wave is concerned in the national capital. And the forecast says that heat wave is expected to intensify, maximum temperature slightly below Saturday's high, but it could be hotter in the days to come. What is the situation like right now?
Well, Hina, the situation is quite the same. It is 33, 34 degrees right now, but it is supposed to reach 44 degrees today itself. That's the kind of expectation. Saturday was one of the warmest days in the season today, which touched 46 degrees and almost 47 degrees on Saturday, and that's the kind of heat wave that is going on and is going to affect areas like Delhi, Rajasthan, and Haryana. So we can expect some kind of relief in terms of weather approximately by Friday, because according to the Met Department, a light thunderstorm followed by light rains is supposed to touch the neighboring areas of Delhi and NCR region and Haryana approximately on Friday, which will give some relaxations to the soaring high temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. So Delhi people and the people of Haryana and Rajasthan can expect some relief in terms of temperature on this following weekend.
Stay on with us, Kangana. In fact, there's one more story on the front page only that's reported. Delhi government has ordered 5-fold hike in COVID beds at private hospitals.
Well, of course, Hina, there were a lot of complaints about the fact that they were falling short of beds for COVID-19 patients in the national capital, where we are seeing that every single day there has been a spike of minimum 300 to 400 patients, or 300 to 400 people have been tested positive in Delhi as per on an everyday basis. The highest spike was 600 patients, 600 people were diagnosed with COVID-19. So this was the reason that there was a lack of beds, and now the Delhi government has assured that private hospitals or nursing home which have a capacity of more than 50 beds or more than 50 beds, they will have to reserve at least 20% of their beds for COVID-19 patients. So the number, which is right now at 650, might go up to 5 times more than this.
Right.
So Delhi government is expecting at least 3,000 beds to come in the next week.
Thank you very much, Kangana, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on to the Mumbai edition of the Times of India. And here also we are seeing on the front page, after saying no, Maharashtra allowed 50 flights in city from today against 200 planned. That's the big story. And my colleague Siddhant, in fact, this morning has travelled from Delhi to Mumbai to show you, the viewers, as to what the condition is like and what kind of arrangements are in place for the passengers for the domestic air travel. He has landed in Mumbai. Take a look at this report.
Okay, so right now we are on Chowmak, we are inside the bus, and this bus is going in, taking us to an aircraft. So you can see people here are following proper social distancing norms. They are standing at a distance, they are sitting at a distance, they are wearing masks, and there are less people on this bus. Usually before lockdown, before COVID, there used to be a lot of people, there used to be more people, but now there are very less people, not more than 15 people in one bus.
What is also interesting to note is that there are marked X over here at the seat. If I can tell Siddhant to show you, which means that you're not allowed to sit here. You're only allowed to sit at one place. There are 2 seats, only one seat can be occupied. So this is something that is interesting. And let's hope this is how it's going to be inside the flight also. And we've also seen that this is how the arrangements have been done inside the airport also.
Well, there you see, this is a pair of seats, and one seat is vacant, and there's a mark also made by the SpiceJet, the airline we are flying with today. and only on one seat you can use, one seat you can occupy. So these are very minute precautions that airlines are taking at this point in time. But at the same time, very useful precautions, because even people are aware about the entire situation in the country, and this is the reason even they are taking precautions on their end. So even airlines is also leaving no stone unturned. They have also been provided with this kit by the airline. This kit consists of mask, sanitizer and a shield. So this is a kit provided to us by our airline, and we are going to board the aircraft. We'll be getting report for you from the aircraft as well. Okay, so right now we are on tarmac. We are inside the bus, and this bus is going in, taking us to the aircraft.
All right, so that was a report sent by my colleague Siddhant and Vajula. Both of them, in fact, have travelled from Delhi to Mumbai to tell you about the kind of arrangements that are in place. And you saw those face shields that both of them were wearing that will be given to all the passengers by the airlines now in some sort of a kit. Arunil, my colleague, is now joining us on the broadcast at this point in time. Arunil, good morning. 3,000 plus cases have taken the state past 50,000 mark. 50,000 cases in Maharashtra on this day.
Well, unfortunately, Hina, the psychologically alarming mark of 50,000 has already been crossed in the state of Maharashtra. Yesterday was the first day wherein more than 3,000 cases were recorded in the state of Maharashtra. If we speak about the financial capital of the country, that is Mumbai, there are more than 30,000 cases at present in the city of Mumbai, and more than 1,700 cases were recorded from the city of Mumbai itself. So yes, the cases every day in the city of Mumbai are rising at an alarming rate, and with that, the shortage of beds in hospital, shortage of ambulances, basically it mounts the problem in the city of Mumbai by a huge margin, because people have been forced to make VIP calls now in the city of Mumbai to get a simple service like a bed in the city of Mumbai. With respect to other things are concerned, the BMC is certainly making some preparations, and in this week itself, we can expect a 1,000-bed facility to start at the MMRDA grounds at BKC. So that will come as some kind of a relief for the citizens of Mumbai. With respect to the cases rises is concerned, it is the biggest headache for the state government and the BMC, and also it is impacting the COVID warriors as well, hospital staff, cops, as well as the BST employees who have been ferrying the people from essential services. They have also been hugely impacted by the coronavirus.
Neil, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. We'll of course be tracking that closely ahead as well. We are now moving on to the latest coming from the Chennai edition of the Times of India. And here, of course, the big story is Tamil Nadu count crossing 16,000 mark. Chennai tally is 10,000. Number of people cured exceeds cases. That's another good news that has come as well this morning. Shilpa, my colleague, joining us on the broadcast. Shilpa, good morning. Number of people cured exceeds cases. Recovery rate is going up?
That's right. Yesterday, in fact, there were 833 patients who were discharged, whereas only 765 new cases of COVID-19 were reported from Tamil Nadu. But that is also because, the ICMR has tweaked the discharge guidelines. That does not essentially mean all of these people have fully recovered from the virus. Most of these people will be asymptomatic, or these are people with mild symptoms, and they would be, sent to home quarantine. But nevertheless, the surge in number of COVID-19 cases continue as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. The state has crossed the 16,000 mark. 765 cases were reported yesterday alone. And even in Chennai, 587 cases were reported, taking the total tally to more than 10,000 cases. So there is, of course, a cause of concern as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. The numbers are definitely not coming down. It's been the trend for the last 10-15 days, where we're seeing at least 500 to 700 cases being reported on a daily basis. But of course, 833 patients being discharged in one single day is also a very positive news.
All right. Thank you very much, Shilpa, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We are now moving on to the Kolkata edition of the Times of India. And this tells us that with 208 new cases, Bengal has seen highest single day jump. Experts fear virus spike after cyclone. 6,500 plus cases in a day. India 10th globally. That's another story. And here it says mission turnaround after Ampan misery. Kolkata's tree pole pegged at 15,000 services return in some areas after Chief Minister's intervention and joint action on ground. Now, slowly and gradually, people have started bringing their life back to normalcy in West Bengal, Kolkata specifically. Fewer protest pockets, but dark areas still remain after storm damage. Huge cost of repair strikes homes. And this is the big story on the front page. Tamal Saha, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. More on this. Tamal, good morning. Clearly now the repair work has started. People are picking up those broken pieces to get back to normal.
Well, that's right, and it would take some time, and that's what the state government is also trying to suggest to people. Yes, we have seen in the past 2 days there have been a lot of activities on the part of the state government to an extent that the private electricity supplier here in the city of Kolkata, the CESC, who were under fire from a lot of angry people for not being able to restore power services. Mamata Banerjee herself had gone to the office of that private electric supplier, and she had kind of given her suggestions and also had kind of requested them to understand the gravity of the situation. The restoration work has happened to a great extent. We know Army is also there on the field. Army has tried clearing several roads.
All right. Thank you, Tamal, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We are now moving on to the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India. And the front page reports authorities in Karnataka struggle as 7 lakh workers queue up to go back. It's becoming a bit of a concern, especially for the migrant laborers and the way this issue is being handled there. Let's go across to my colleague Deepak Bopanna, who will be joining us in just a bit. Apart from this, there's another story. Rain hits city on curfew day. Bengaluru's High Street MG Road wore a deserted look on Janta curfew on Sunday. Deepak, authorities in Karnataka are struggling. 7 lakh workers want to go back home.
Yes, so that just shows the volume of migrant workers in the city of Bengaluru. Of course, the rapid construction and so much of other availability of jobs that were present here had brought in a huge influx of migrants. But now with the situation going on, they want to head back home. Just about a week and a half ago, the official number was just over 4 lakhs. Now we're hearing it's nearly 7 lakh. Number of people who want to go back home. The latest numbers suggest that about 1,30,000 have been able to board the Shramik trains. Despite the increase in the number of nodal officers, despite making an appeal to have more trains, it has become a task because the receiving state as well has a lot of norms to be followed. The number of trains are much lesser, so it's becoming a chaotic situation really to communicate this message to the migrant laborers who are desperate right now to get back home.
Thank you very much, Deepak, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and get our viewers the latest from around the world. And the biggest update is that Brazil is now #2 worst hit nation. Brazil's coronavirus curve steepened further a day after it overtook Russia to become the country with the second highest number of cases. China says virus is pushing US ties to brink of new Cold War. Wuhan lab has 3 live strains of bad coronaviruses. Beijing has accused US politicians of fabricating rumors against it. Protesters decry China's security law plan in Hong Kong. White House is warning of more US sanctions in the days to come. And US President Donald Trump plays golf as US nears grim milestone of 1 lakh COVID deaths. That's another story on the front page. Let's now get you news from the world of sports. My colleague Karishma is now joining us on the broadcast. Karishma, good morning. Kiran Rijiju, the sports minister, has said that government will be deciding the fate of IPL and not the BCCI.
Well, yes, absolutely, Hina, that is true. BCCI is not going to go ahead and conduct the IPL without a go-ahead, a green signal from the Government of India. But at the moment, the BCCI is still fighting it out with the International Cricket Council to understand whether it is going to have a window to conduct the IPL this year or not. This week, there is a very important meeting of the ICC on Thursday, wherein it is going to decide the fate of the T20 World Cup as well. So we are going to wait and see what happens then and what decision BCCI takes with regard to IPL, because once the BCCI decides what it is going to do, only then will it reach out to the government for clarification or for green signal as to whether they can conduct IPL or not. But it will not happen before October 2020 in any scenario.
All right. Thank you very much, Karishma, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. And lastly, for our viewers, this is what is there as far as the world of entertainment is concerned. Channels, TV producers meet Maharashtra Chief Minister to discuss resumption of shoots. That's another story here. With gyms unlikely to open soon, the sale of fitness equipment has really gone up across the country. Another story reported on this particular page. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.